What's up everyone, and welcome to my first ever video on this channel where we're going to be building a giant statue of Christ the Redeemer overlooking my entire city project right here. Now the statue is going to be made up out of 15,000 quartz blocks, so we're just gonna go grab some shulker boxes and head over to the villagers and start trading. Right, so I'm just gonna put on some shulker boxes and then we're gonna get right into buying some quartz. Now we're gonna need 1 emerald per quartz block. So to finance this, we're gonna trade a lot of glass panes, gold blocks, and pumpkin and melons. So these are all zombified, meaning that I can buy glass from a librarian, craft it into a pane, and then sell it 1 glass pane for 1 emerald. Alright, so just like this, we got 1.5 stack of emeralds. Now we're gonna go over to my mason villagers and buy a bunch of quartz blocks from them. Alright, so I've been at this for a few minutes now. We've got about 6 stack of quartz, which is not too bad. But I've just remembered that I still have a lot of emerald blocks back at my base from when raid farms were still working. So I'm just gonna grab these to speed up this process a little bit. Now all the trades of my mason villagers are locked, so I'm just gonna go grab some rotten flesh and gold blocks to trade with my clerics. Just to get back a few emeralds and do something while I wait for them to refresh their trades. Now this one hurts a little, but I'm gonna dig into my gold supply to try to get as much emeralds as possible and get some more quartz. So we can sell the rotten flesh as well as 2 gold bars for 1 emerald to these cleric guys right here. They're sadly not zombified, but I don't think I'm gonna zombify them for just this project right here. But I think without much further ado, let's roll a time lapse of getting about 15,000 quartz blocks. Alright, it has taken us about 3.5 hours, but we're finally done getting all of the quartz. Now all we have to do is smelt it up and then get a bunch of other materials. Alright, it has taken us about 3.5 hours, but we're finally done getting all of the quartz. Now all we have to do is smelt it up and then get a bunch of other materials. As you might have seen in the thumbnail, this statue is sitting on top of a giant mountain with a bunch of trees, so we gotta get a lot more materials. So let's just head straight into another time lapse. I've just noticed this little amazing Easter egg that they include the northern lights in this shader from time to time. But anyways, we have almost everything. All that we need to do now is craft up some of the last materials and then we can finally get building. So we need a bunch of flower pots, some dark oak pressure plates, spruce trapdoors, some spruce slabs, spruce stairs, some spruce signs. Then we need some mud for some mud brick walls, andesite stairs, as well as some walls and slabs. Next up, we're gonna make some tough items. We're just gonna get some black stone for the base and craft up a few polished pressure plates as well as some regular stairs. Then we need some shroom lights and some mossy carpets for spawn proofing, and a lot more resources that we got in bulk, such as stone and andesite, all of these things. But anyway, let's just make a little platform right here underneath this mountain where we can put all of the shulker boxes so we have a little bit easier access, and then go ahead and bring them all right over here. So let's put down all of the grass and moss blocks right over here. Then we can go ahead and put down all of the stone related items up here, and then last but not least, let's put everything that we need for the trees and for the statue over on this second platform right here. So now that we have all of the materials that we need for this little side project, we can finally start building this mountain. So without much further ado, let's cue the last and final time lapse of this video. so the mountain is completely done. And since I forgot to record a time lapse when I put down all of the greenery, here is just a little, not really a transition, but just a little second shot for you. Now that is what it looks like with all of the saplings, the short grass, and the berry bushes down, which I think adds quite a lot of depth already. So now we're just gonna go ahead and build all of the trees. So we built almost 30 to 40 trees, which are all extremely detailed, but I think they turned out amazing. But anyways, it's time to now finally start building what probably most of y'all are actually here for, the statue of Cristo Redentor up on top of the mountain. So the statue and the mountain, the trees, everything are finally finished now. And I gotta say, it looks pretty cool overlooking my little city down here, or my little start of a city. And I absolutely love how it turned out. But let me know what y'all think about this little side project down in the comments below. And feel free to follow me if you don't want to miss any of my future videos or my future projects. But I'm gonna go ahead and continue building some more houses and expanding my city down here. And I shall see you in the next episode.